You know Interstate 77, known as the West Virginia Turnpike. It goes through Mercer County in southern West Virginia. Maybe you drive it when traveling between Beckley and Charleston, or maybe you've taken it as you've traveled to Myrtle Beach every summer. There are many areas on that turnpike where the road curves sharply and you have to brake hard to keep from going off the road, or worse, to keep from hitting stop traffic in front of you. Most people on that road think, I know this road, I'll be fine. But here's the truth. Familiarity doesn't change the geometry. It just makes you less afraid of it. And being less afraid is exactly how people get killed on West Virginia roads. West Virginia's traffic fatality rate is the third highest in the entire country. In 2023 alone, 260 people died on West Virginia roads. Between 2019 and 2023, that's 1,340 lives. Today, I'm walking you through the most dangerous roads in this state, road by road. One of them might be your commute right now. And when I get to road number 4, you're going to be surprised. Most people assume the interstates are the most dangerous. They're not. Number 3 is a 2-lane road most people have never heard of, and it has one of the highest death tolls per mile in the entire state. What makes our roads so dangerous? The Appalachian terrain forces roads to wind through steep gorges and over ridges where there's no room for error. Infrastructure funding hasn't kept pace, as about 18% of West Virginia's bridges are rated in very poor condition. Heavy truck traffic runs alongside passenger cars on roads that were never designed for that. Keep that in mind as we go through this list. Road number 1, I-77, Mercer County. Let's start where I said we would. I-77 runs from Charleston south to the Virginia border, and the stretch through Mercer County near Princeton is among the most dangerous in the entire state. According to crash data analysis covering 2000 to 2019, a single 1-mile section near Camp Creek recorded 11 fatalities, making this stretch the deadliest mile of highway in the state of West Virginia. You might say, Tim, it's an interstate. How is it more dangerous than a 2-lane mountain road? The grades. I-77 through southern West Virginia involves steep downhill runs that are manageable in a passenger car, but can be catastrophic for large trucks when brake fade sets in on the descent. When a truck loses control on an I-77 grade, it doesn't just affect the truck driver. It becomes an obstacle that vehicles behind it have no time to avoid. The weather makes it worse. Mercer County sits at an elevation where ice forms fast and fog rolls in from the mountains. The combination of topography, truck traffic, and unpredictable weather has been behind multiple wrongful death cases that my law firm has handled on this stretch of highway. At highway speeds, these crashes are catastrophic. But road number 5 is dangerous for a completely different reason. Road number 2, I-81, Berkeley County. You're on Interstate 81 near Martinsburg, heading north, when suddenly you come upon stopped traffic. Sure, you may be able to avoid hitting the car in front of you, but what about the vehicles behind you? Can they get stopped? What if it's a large semi-tractor trailer coming up behind you at a high rate of speed? You may have 2 seconds to react if you see the truck won't be able to stop. What should you do? Did you leave yourself room to bail out? Interstate 81 near Martinsburg, between exit 8 and 83, is the most dangerous 5-mile stretch of roadway in West Virginia because vehicles travel at high speeds, including semi-tractor trailer trucks hauling large, heavy loads. Trucks are a constant presence on the interstates in West Virginia, and when a passenger car and a loaded semi-truck fight for the same lane of travel on Interstate 81, it usually doesn't end well for the passenger car. If you're on Interstate 81 in or near Martinsburg, slow down and keep your eyes alert for traffic not only ahead of you, but also coming up beside and behind you. You should be especially careful if there are construction zones on Interstate 81, as those areas are ripe for traffic coming to an uninspected stop, with vehicles coming up behind you that may not be able to stop in time. And if you were in a crash on this road, the truck traffic and road design are part of your case. But as dangerous as Interstate 81 is, road number 3 has a different kind of reputation. Road number 3, US Route 50, Salem to Clarksburg. Which road they fear most in winter? Route 50 is the answer you'll hear more than any other. Between Salem and Clarksburg, Route 50 goes through hilly terrain with sharp turns, limited sight lines, and a documented history of crashes. The segment near Salem alone recorded 24 fatalities in 19 deadly crashes between 2000 and 2019. Here's what makes Route 50 so unforgiving. It carries heavy truck traffic as a main east-west route, and fog and ice hit it hard. Truckers who know West Virginia slow down on Route 50. A lot of passenger car drivers don't, because in clear weather, it feels manageable. You might say, Tim, I've driven Route 50 100 times without a problem. Look, I believe you, but that's exactly what drivers who later caused crashes on it said too. Conditions change. The road doesn't forgive. The stretch between Clarksburg and Grafton is another problem area where the road winds through densely wooded terrain. Visibility drops to near nothing in bad weather. If you were in a crash on Route 50, the conditions on that road that day are evidence. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. But if US Route 50 surprised you, wait until you see about road number 4. Road number 4, Route 16, Beckley. Here's the one most people never see coming. Route 16 through Beckley doesn't look like a death trap. It starts as a 4-lane road. Wide, reasonable speed limits. It feels like a normal urban road. Then, without much warning, it drops to 2 lanes. According to crash data analysis covering 2000 to 2019, that transition zone recorded 23 deaths in 22 fatal accidents. One of the deadliest road segments per mile in West Virginia. Most people assume the interstates are the killers. Wrong. The roads that catch you off guard, the ones that look safe until they suddenly are not, those are the ones. What's happening on Route 16? Drivers who are used to the wider 4-lane section carry that speed expectation into the narrowing. Blind curves appear right where the lanes merge. Split-second decisions about gaps in traffic. At speeds nobody should be carrying at that point. You say, Tim, how is that my fault if the road is designed wrong? That's exactly the point. When a road design contributes to a crash, a dangerous merge, a blind curve with inadequate warning signage, the only person you can hold responsible for the crash is the other driver. Because in all likelihood, the designer of the road, the state of West Virginia, has immunity from any claim that the road was defectively designed. That's something we examine in every Raleigh County case involving Route 16. The next road might surprise you, because it doesn't involve high-speed interstate travel. Road number 5, Route 60, St. Albans to South Charleston. Route 60 through Kanawha County, specifically the McCorkle Avenue corridor in South Charleston, is not a mountain road problem. This is an urban design problem. McCorkle Avenue is wide. It runs at a higher speed limit than feels safe for the number of intersections and driveways, and it lacks a median in several key sections. From 2000 to 2019, this corridor recorded 22 fatal crashes. More intersections and driveways mean more conflict points, places where vehicles at different speeds must interact. More conflict points mean more crashes. Because of the manner in which Route 60 was designed, there is a higher likelihood of crashes occurring by other careless drivers. The next stretch of highway is the one most of you watching this actually drive every week. Road number 6, Interstate 79, Harrison, Marion, and Monongalia counties. You'd think an interstate is safer than a 2-lane mountain road. Well, in some ways it is, but Interstate 79 through Harrison, Marion, and Monongalia counties has its own problem: volume of traffic. If you commute on I-79, you already know what I'm about to say. That section near Morgantown where traffic stacks with no warning because there seems to be permanent road construction. You crest a hill and brake lights stretch a quarter mile ahead at 65 miles per hour. Limited sight lines around curves cut your warning time to almost nothing. A rear-end collision at 65 miles per hour produces traumatic brain injury, multi-level disc damage, and possible spinal trauma. It looks like a fender bender on the police report, but the injury is anything but. If you want the road with the most ominous reputation in West Virginia, I saved it for last. Road number 7, Route 33, Dead Woman's Curve. Now, no list of dangerous West Virginia roads ends anywhere else. The name isn't folklore. It comes from a documented history of fatal crashes at a section where the road takes a severe curve with steep drop-offs and limited sight lines. Truckers who know West Virginia warn each other about this stretch by name. That kind of reputation doesn't come from nowhere. U.S. Route 33 runs east-west across the middle of the state, and there is a notoriously treacherous, blind turn along a steep 4-mile stretch in Pendleton County near Seneca Rocks that's called Dead Woman's Curve. Its combination of sharp turns and significant elevation changes makes it particularly unforgiving for trucks and for any driver who underestimate the curve radius. You say, Tim, why don't they just fix it? Some of these roads have had improvement projects in the planning for decades, but in the meantime, drivers are on them every single day. If you've been in a crash on Route 33 or on any of the roads I've covered today, here's what you need to know. The road's dangerous condition does not reduce your right to recover. In fact, it may expand it. Document everything at the scene: the road surface, missing guardrails, sightline obstructions, vehicle positions. This evidence matters more on a road with a history of crashes than in a standard parking lot accident. Don't accept a fast settlement offer. On dangerous roads, the injured party is often not at fault, but insurance companies will try to pin partial fault on you anyway. Their job is to pay you as little as possible. Your job is to make sure they can't. That's why you need someone who knows West Virginia law before you sign anything. In this video, I helped you understand the roads you're driving. My previous video, Why West Virginia Has One of the Highest Traffic Death Rates in the Country, explains the deeper reasons our state is this dangerous. Watch that next. And if you or someone you know was hurt on a West Virginia road, call us at the Miley Legal Group in Clarksburg or Morgantown. The consultation is free and there's no obligation.